going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. And so today we're going to work on the bobber, and specifically we are going to fix a problem with the rear suspension. So stock suspension on the bobber is not super awesome. And you'll see a lot of people that talk about it's fine, it's great, and it may be for them, but it's not for me. I weigh, I don't know, between 190 to 200, depending on how much pizza I eat. And I've run into issues where the rear suspension just generates entirely too much shock from my lower back, and it makes longer distance riding uncomfortable. And I've said in a handful of other videos that I've done that I really want to do much more long distance riding with the bobber. It's a fun bike to ride. I want to ride it for longer. So we're going to fix that. And the way we're going to fix that is we're going to put these bad boys on. So these are a set of progressive 444s. So we're going to put these on. And the primary reason I went with progressive is I did the research, and these are kind of well built. These are good standard cruiser style rear suspension that is adjustable very easily. You don't require a tool to adjust them, and they're kind of a golden standard in industry. I could have gone with a few other ones. I could have gone with K-Tech or whatever, but I settled on these primarily for the price point. They were a little less than the others, but at the end of the day, I'm looking specifically for something that will soften my ride. The reviews that I read on these 444s were all well. I did the research on the technology that's there. It sounds solid. I won't get into the technology of the shocks and all that stuff, so if you're really interested, take some time, go on their website, look at reviews, do some comparisons between the different styles of rear suspension you can put on the bobber, and decide for yourself. I'm always more than happy to provide any information that helps. And when I'm done with this and I've gone out and I've ridden it a little bit, I'll come back and I'll give everybody my a longer term opinion on them. But so here's what we're going to go do. We are going to lift the rear suspension, or lift the rear up ever so slightly to just get the rear wheel off, to kind of unload those springs a little bit. And then we're gonna go one side and then the other. We're gonna take off the first side, and then we'll go over and we'll swing the second side. And we'll tighten all that up. When we do tighten those up, those are going to be tightened up at 55 pounds, at least what the spec says. And then the next thing we'll do is we will set my sag. I can't set the sag on my suspension alone, so hopefully I'll be able to get somebody to help me. Maybe my son will help me set my sag. But anyway, let's get to it. We'll be back in just a second. All right, we're back. So already got one side off, and I'm currently working on installation of that. The progressives come with these little shoulder sleeves. So these shoulder sleeves, so two go in the top, and the smaller sleeve goes in the bottom. That's currently what I'm working on properly fitting right now. The sleeves themselves are a tight fit, so I'm going to have to finagle this shoulder sleeve here a little bit to get it in correctly. But that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to work on this a bit to try and get that sleeve footed, whatever, so that we can slap that bad boy on there. Once I get that sorted, I'll be back and then we'll slap it on. Alright guys, kind of a pro tip, something I found out. So these sleeves, these little metal sleeves that fit into these grommets, they don't go in very easily. And I've got longer suspension, so this is actually the bottom grommet, or the bottom. And to kind of get it to feed, get that sleeve to fit in there, it just wasn't happening. So instead, I used the upper bolt, which is a longer bolt than the bottom bolt, and I just fitted it and fed and fed and fed until the pressure of the tube actually seated the sleeve inside of the shock. So, bueno, that was much better than like trying to get a hammer or trying to do something stupid and banging it in there. So that worked well. So anyway, now we're at a point where we can actually put this thing together. So we've got this assembly for the top to the two sleeves. That's on, and got the bottom sleeve. Now I am going to wager it's not going to fit exactly, and it doesn't. So I've got about a half an inch that the rear needs to be lowered by. So what that means is that I'm going to have to go over to the other side and undo it and see if I can nicely drop it. So I'll come back once I get this hole lined up with the bottom shock hole. So we'll be back in a second. Alright guys, so we finally have it fitted. I did have to kind of finagle with the rear bit just to kind of get it lined up properly so I'm not forcing or stripping any bolts or anything. But it's now seated. This is not tight, nor is this down here. I'm going to finish up tightening them. I'm not going to fully tighten them in case I need some sort of a play on the other side. And we'll finish this side up and essentially repeat what we did here over there. So we'll be back in a minute. Well, it's officially hot here in Texas, but we're done. So here's how she looks. All right. So the big difference between these shocks and the other shocks, just from an appearance perspective, is now I can hand adjust them rather than use a tool. Not to mention they have much better suspension technology built into them. So they've got this kind of like a bump sensing, you know, the way in which oil kind of sits in there and is able to sense and adjust accordingly to the bumps as you hit them. So it's supposed to soften that out significantly. And over on the other side. So pretty basic, pretty simple. Next thing to do is for us to go and measure my rider sag. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. There's tons of videos on rider sag, but I'll give you the TLDR of rider sag, which is you measure from a fixed point to your fender, stretched out, unseated, and then you sit and you remeasure. Rider sag should be between 0.75 inches and 1.25 inches for the rider. So that's how I'm gonna set it. Anyway, if this was helpful, you enjoyed it, maybe you've got questions about the shock itself, drop me a line. I'd be more than happy to answer them. And if like I said, if you find this helpful, do that whole subscribe, likey, notify thing, and we'll do another one of these. I'll do a longer term, like what I think of these progressives once I've ridden them a while. So anyway, I will see you then.